What's good, everybody? Your boy Dear Tessa in the building. Hopefully y'all have been doing great. Been wanting to make this video for the past month or two because I've really been wanting to make videos on this game and just in general, this the whole franchise universe. And the reason I've been playing that is because Star Wars hasn't been going down the route that I've been personally wanting, knowing about the things like Bob Iger and things like that. So when I saw something like Warhammer and Darktide on top of it, something that focuses on the sci-fi action of a universe. Oh, I have to give this a play. I played Warframe in the past. I played BDO. I played Throne and Liberty. I played Star Wars: The Old Republic, Valorant, Overwatch, MMOs, shooters. Come in. I found out this game from one of my friends who used to play Warframe with me. He told me about horde shooters, and I was like, oh, look through all these. And then through all of these, I found out about this game, which is surprising because this was during a time. Apparently, this game came out like November 2022. Sorry, I don't have the correct date. This was the same time I just got done playing Warframe, and I was done with that game. I have a whole story with that, ruined in its gameplay aspect. I was going from BDO to playing the Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 originals, and I played the throwing a ball and Shadowvan and all of that. So I was looking for a game to play. Oh, I also play Path of Exile. I was looking for a game to play, and I wish I had found about this game before because this is a perfect game for me. Right after Warframe, still in like the kind of like dark fantasy type of games. So looking for something in between. I wish I had known about Warhammer. So now, with Star Wars and all this coming down, I found out about Warhammer 40k and Darktide, and I was like, yeah, this is perfect. I love this. But apparently this game is like comparable to Left 4 Dead. I play Left 4 Dead. I guess it's kind of, but it's kind of got its own uniqueness that I think as an MMO player and a shooter FPS player, this is like a perfect in between. I think anyone could try. It's kind of gruesome, so people that are like not a fan of like gory stuff, but at the same time, just the type of amount of fun you can have playing this game is perfect. So anyway, TLDR, someone coming from MMO and FPS type of enjoyment, Darktide was a perfect game for me to get into from the Warhammer 40k franchise, which in my opinion is the more fun side of the more action war side of a fantasy world. With a friend to tell me about the game, knowing it's a horde shooter, I had 5 choices. I had between the veteran, the zealot, Ogren, Arbides, and the Psyker. Arbides locked behind a DLC, but my second character so far has been the zealot. So first off, starting the character, I wanted a more support role because I knew my friends, they're more melee into the action type of players. Main thing of like all of these horde shooters is like, I say shooters, but melee is usually the main concept. Vibe to it like Doom. So no one was like kind of had that Doom feeling to it, but as a multiplayer standpoint, I wanted to be a more support role. I know there's not roles in this game, and some people are a big fan of calling roles, but Psyker, the way I played it was like a sort of type of role. So because I wanted to help my team out, I went for the Psyker. So start off the Psyker, you know, there was all that lore stuff and, you know, making your character, which I think the way you make your character is having it so much personality to it, like any other type of D&D type of creation. I don't really know much about D&D, but I know that it felt like that type of vibe. I felt like that was super cool and very unique for a game like this because they wanted you to feel like your character was in the story and you are a reject that was meant to be nothing, and you work your way up through going through various type of missions and overcoming the odds. At least that's what I get from it. Though I'm not a big fan of the name reject. It's like reject actually shows that they don't care. It's not like something like the forgotten one, the one they throw away, the unforsaken one, the unwanted one, just straight reject. Like they actually do see as nothing but just fodder. As my like type of main character syndrome with all my MMOs I play, Star Wars: The Old Republic or Mass Effect, Dragon Age is like, oh, okay. But you know, I got into it because it's like still a fun game. It's still a fun game. So get into it. I played the intro cinematic. I was like, wow, this is cool. I feel like I'm in the universe and everything. Come to find out, you know, the story's kind of like, think of it too much when they were making it, but they did say apparently that story was something they wanted to be a main focal point, which I still get that vibe now playing the game and like what they want to do with like their next expansions. But I have to say for the first half, yeah, your character, it just feels like they're just having him coast through like a prologue. I'm not currently done with all the missions. I'm on like mission 12 or something like that, but going through for majority of them definitely feels like prologue teaching about everything. Apparently Vermintide, which I've seen about Vermintide, and I'm actually interested in like a fantasy type of world, like a whole different thing. I will definitely be playing Vermintide. But anyways, going on with the missions, I learn about all these different type of the shop. I learn about leveling up your weapon, doing masteries, and putting on your blessings and your items and all of that, which I didn't know blessings you had to choose from two. I thought once you maxed it out, you had all those blessings available, which felt crazy, of course. But my only thing I will say, as a playing the game and then I'm realizing, oh, you can only choose from two. I don't know. I just feel like a 3 is a more better option. 2 feel too bare bone, in my opinion. As a person that plays games to fully master them and get heavily invested, I want to give all my knowledge. Only make videos when I have a good amount of knowledge. At the time, and now actually knowing about the game, I do think 3 blessings would be something that would be beneficial rather than only having 2. Coming in, I learned about all the blessings and the items and your curios and all of that. So basically I was doing all of that while I was leveling. There's really nothing to really talk about learning about all these things while leveling. But one thing I will say, when I was playing as a new player, I was starting to understand you can't really listen to what other people have to say when you're learning these classes. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of feel like it's better when you play this game as a solo player. And then once you start to understand all this stuff, then you start playing with friends. Because I'm gonna be honest, while I was playing this game for the first time, I was getting tilted because I'd have one person tell me one thing, but I had my friends tell me one thing, but then when I look on actual like videos and have people explain to me these classes, it made more sense. So play the classes you want and play them the way you want them to be. Play what works for you, because at the end of the day, even when you're playing with people that you know, and I'll talk about this later, you won't really figure out your build until you do your research, and you won't be able to understand the small details about this game until you actually dig in deep. I was not able to understand my build until I decided I'm gonna take the time and learn about my build, because there's knowledge that they know about missions, maps, weapons, and just small how you survivability things that you don't know as a new player. So a lot of this game is locked behind knowledge, and some of it is intended, but some of it's also, I think, buggy. Prime example is that there's times the mission won't tell you where you're supposed to go, so you're just wandering around wondering what's the next thing going on. And people that play these missions on these maps know what's going on, but as a newer player, you're stuck confused. So like I said, take the time out to learn all about the game. That way, when you play with others, it won't feel as frustrating. That's something I learned really quickly, like 2 weeks or like a week into playing on the highest difficulty. I need to get knowledge, or else you'll just feel like nothing's going the way you're imagining it should go. So the reason I say this is because it all comes around. While I was playing, I started to realize I'm more of a fan of, I'm a fan of Inferno Staff, but things I wasn't understanding is how I would combo all of this together. So for me, I start to realize when I try and play from a team perspective, and I started to soon realize, even with your own friends, play even as a team with your own friends. So I started to realize I need to play to keep myself alive. Like I'm the only person that's gonna be able to keep me alive. So I started to create different play styles of how I would fight. Either I play to keep the enemies at bay with my Inferno Staff, or all in just rushing it down like I'm Tyler Wood in 2014 peak League of Legends gameplay, and not giving a damn with my great sword as a Psyker, just spamming cleave to just wipe a whole bunch of enemies out in a second. No matter how you play this game, you're always going to be playing from a solo standpoint. Unless you actually have you come together and say you're going to play from a team standpoint, it's always important to play. It's always to play like you're solo. So this is where I started to learn. This is where once I hit all after I hit max level, I started to understand how important, especially as something as squishy as Psyker, it is to not let your health never deplete. I need to test different builds to see how I'm gonna survive. And this is how the game, I don't know if purposely, but this is how the game introduces you to playing different type of play styles, different type of builds. Your talent tree, you can rearrange it however you want, because you start to learn for different type of missions, or even different type of vibes you're feeling. You need to change your build to how you're going to be able to survive as a solo player. So there's some days I realize I don't really want to think too hard about having to manage my HP. So I'm going to play back with my bubble, have warp siphon, which basically you reduce your bubble cooldown. And then some days I'm realizing, no, I don't, that's not how I want to play. This is not how I want to survive. I want to survive by playing up front, in the middle, with my great sword, running Skyer's Gaze, running Skyer's Gaze, having, if I'm doing so well, have 2 stacks of Skyer's Gaze, play behind cover, am I good? Run in again, and just keep on playing that way. So this is how the game teaches you, no matter how you play the game, with friends, as a solo player, especially if you keep on increasing the difficulty, you're gonna have to focus on builds that allow you to survive. And this is where, honestly, this is where this game just really pulls you in. There's different play styles. It really makes you have to think about your builds. There's like, some games excel at having good combat. Some games excel from strategizing how you're gonna play, like something like a Valorant or a CSGO, where you have to plan how you're gonna enter a site, you're gonna retake, how you're gonna take care of post plant. Some of these games have you focus on the strategy aspect of the game. Some focus on the gameplay, excelling fluid motions. This game does both. You gotta strategize how you're gonna come in and play in the game, because if you try to play one way and then you decide later on you want to play another, no, there's no other way of playing it. Now there's some classes that you can play a balanced play style. For me, Psyker, I don't feel like you can. You can in some instances, but for the most part, you're not going to have that balanced feel to it. At least that's my opinion for playing 2 months. But anyways, you have to choose your build that you're going to commit to, play the game with that play style, and just enjoy the satisfaction of playing these classes. Because like I said, this is not just a first impressions. This is my review and outlook on the game, and a pretty indirect one as well. As someone who's been keep on striving to get better and better at this game, these are changes I feel like would as I've played the game from a newcomer to then a moderate level player, things I feel like would be good additions to the game. But anyways, now this is coming up to the point where this is the point where I'm at now. I've went from learning about all these things, learning about the blessings, to then learning about different play styles and the focus on survivability. I didn't know for the longest time, the lower your toughness, the less damage reduction I'd say you have towards your HP, which really hurts Psyker as a melee class. So that's another thing I don't know. I won't say that's not something they change. But I do think movement is something that you need to add more of. So now we're here present day, which I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think this was the best time to make this video, because there's so much news coming out with what the next class is. But now I can give my final up to date of where I am now as a 2-month player, giving all my first impressions of the game all the way from beginning to now. I love the strategizing in this game, committing to play styles. I am all fine with committing to your role and committing to how you're going to play the game. You're either going to be a melee Psyker, you're going to be a range Psyker, you're going to be a limited power Psyker, like your Emperor Palpatine, or you're going to be a support Psyker. I don't know. There's many different. So like I was hoping to sum it all up, the things I love about this game are the story format, the story layout. There's layout for there to be a good story. The immersiveness in this game is phenomenal. Being in the Warhammer scene, and they just nailing it. The gameplay is super fluid, and strategizing not only your build, but how you're gonna play while you're playing, what you're gonna do in these play styles is all just really good. Now, the things I think they can improve on are the squishiness, man. It's just feeling like you're stalling for time, stalling for the enemy. They easily have better power than you. If you weren't just running away 24/7, CCing them with your Inferno Staff, or just shredding through with your cleave on the light enemies, the elites and specialists would just run right through you. And you see it a lot in these Havoc missions when they have a lot more armor or they have regenerative skills. It really comes down to you're just like running and stalling out so you can take them down one by one, which sometimes you're not even able to do because either the map is so small or you just don't have the damage, especially if you don't have CC with your Inferno Staff, and if they're immune to CC, then it just makes some of these games just a lot super hard. And I found a lot of these when I'm like running into like 20 different, like 15 different crushers, toxins. It was like, what am I supposed to do? I'm a psyker. I'm meant to be squishy, yet I'm supposed to wade and just like play in these tight corners, hoping that there's no like a bunch of enemies to swarm on me. You're meant to not be able to survive some of these, and I just don't like that outlook. I'd rather be overwhelmed by enemies, not be overwhelmed by dumb design choices that don't even make sense. Like some of these, like the toxins, like what are we doing? That I feel like that feels too gamey-ish in a realistic dark fantasy world like Warhammer. Like, yeah, I guess it's meant to be craziness, but let's have some realism now. Like, I don't get the toxin and all that. Like I said, in the very end, there's no mission progression. You don't know where you're doing. The biggest thing that holds me back from playing this game a complete ton, a whole bunch, is that I don't know how long I'm gonna be in some of these missions. Like, I could be in there for 15 minutes. I could be in for 30 minutes. I could be in there for 35. Don't really think 40, but some crazy amount of time. Like, I don't feel like these should be such long missions. I want to be able to choose. I'm investing my time in this mission for however many time, but I know when I get out, I'm gonna get a good amount of resources or something. There's no reward for. I enjoy the gameplay. The gameplay is one thing to be rewarding, but the investment of like grinding isn't there. I don't want to be wasting my time in some of these missions. If I can get to the place right after we're done with it, I want to just head over there now. I don't want to have to like struggle to see where is it, or where is it, I can't see it, or it not even be there. That I don't like at all, and I think they need to really improve being able to finish some of these missions 10-12 minutes. That is the biggest thing for me. So you guys heard me talk about so much good about it. There really is so much good. The things I really want to improve are things that I think that are super doable by them. It just takes understanding what some people want. If people are wanting like quicker type of missions, you know, and then like the longer missions be the ones you gain a lot of resources in. I'm excited to see the power increasement as we get later and later into this game, because I feel like this game is just at the beginning. It's still working towards gaining an audience, which I wish Darktide, Warhammer, all of this had more popularity. Just I hope it's controlled popularity, where the realistic and gruesome side of it doesn't get changed. The story keeps on progressing, and Gamers Workshop keeps on wanting to see a game like this grow. Now I just want to see its chains be unleashed. Like it's the Sith Code, like this is Star Wars, like this is the Old Republic, this is the Sith Empire. I want to see the chains of Darktide, Warhammer just be unleashed. That's basically what this video is about, and I think I did pretty well in this video. So you guys let me know what you guys think of this first impressions review of the game, and hopefully you guys enjoy seeing me as a common face in the Darktide scene. I've been streaming this. I am still stream Star Wars Old Republic because I love that game, and I've been playing a lot of some Duet Abyss, I think that's the name of it. I stream all of that on Twitch. Fun games that I think all coincide with the type of vibe and style I try to bring on, not just my streaming or my recording, but me as a content creator. What your guys' opinions and thoughts are. So anyways, with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video. Take care, y'all. Peace. Bye.